Okay, so it's about evening time around my time here in Colorado. But I just kind of wanted to share this thought. Like, I've been having a rough couple days and stuff like that. It's been really hard to kind of stay motivated. I've been starting to feel a lot of the same familiar thoughts of, like, am I good enough? Even if I did do something wrong, I'm starting to doubt myself. I'm like, well, maybe I'm not worthy enough because I did do something wrong here. Why shouldn't I keep fighting? Things are those same patterns I used to get to when I was a kid and just kind of recovering. I'm so fortunate just to have the thoughts I have. The fact that just sitting in the shower tonight and thinking about how lucky I am to have a hot shower. Whereas I remember being so filthy, I guess that's the word I can use. I'm going almost 22 days without a shower, but just that amazing feeling. It's, you admire the simplest things. Sorry if I'm going off a little bit on tangent, but it's just the things I've gotten myself through, even at my worst. And yet, because I had the support I did, just this is all back in the military, but now that I don't have the same type where it's like right here in front of me and I can reach out, that I do still have those supports that were with me when I was in the military, and I reach out to them now. And when they have their families, we all kind of correlate together. But this is the biggest challenge I think I've ever had to face. And I was kind of telling myself today, it feels like it's almost worse than boot camp a little bit. I feel like I can deal with the yelling and just people saying hurtful things, but when it comes to a legal matter that I'm facing, meaning like fighting for my rights after what this apartment complex did to me, it's literally scaring me because I did have a couple incidents where I had a spell or something like that because of my anxiety or whatever was going on. And now they're going to hold that against me. And those little things kind of scare me. And that's when I start to dwell on myself about my worthiness. And I'm like, oh, I'll never get what I want. But I'm trying to tell myself, keep on going. You deserve more than you've ever been given, and then some. And the thought has crossed my mind too is like, I've been fighting for a better future, but yet I'm going backwards. And that's what's really messing with my head right now is like, I know I was on the track to a better life, fixing my mental health back in 2018 when I just said enough's enough. I just got sick and tired of being sick and tired and just got my shit together. So, shh, shh. See, getting my stuff together. Enrolling into CSU. When I ended up getting to go, like I was doing last minute things, like December of 2018, and I was leaving my apartment in Denver, 2018 of October. So I'm like, I'm crunching all this, and I'm moving into an RV, and I'm like, fuck yeah, dude, I'm doing all this cool shit. I'm getting my crap together. I'm going to school. I'm getting my degree. We're going for my degree in health and exercise science. And I was kind of debating between the health promotion and then the sports medicine. I thought I wanted both, but the more I look into it, I'm like, ew. I'd rather just stick to sports medicine. I'm like, that's my passion about it, just being around people and stuff. And getting in the game, kind of like I did in the Marine Corps. I'm like, I don't want to sit behind a desk and just chit chat. I'm like, dude, let's get going, yo. Um, Fine. I started that bodybuilding team, whatever. I was like excelling in school. I made the honor roll, or no, honor society, as you were. I was like, fuck yeah. Even though I was at my lowest 2.5, but for that, being in college and not being in school for almost 20 plus years, just doing Marine Corps stuff and just like trying to actually use my brain again. So proud of myself. So give me all the middle finger from the people I went to high school with who said I couldn't do it. I'm kicking more butt than I really expected. I'm just starting so freaking late, which kind of sucks because I'm really like astonished to see where I've come from this far. But anyways, where it kind of went downhill was the whole shutdown of the pandemic. I was like, okay, I can do this. I can do this. I'm like, okay. I didn't think anything about isolation again. I was like, I've done this before. But that was when I was in my depression. I did good for the first couple of weeks. I mean, I was seeing my coach at the time, Sarah Hurl, and her video workouts she would do with us as a team. And then right after that, I would get the women's bodybuilding club I was trying to start also just before the whole pandemic. And I was trying to do exercises with them and try to motivate them. I did do the same thing, the same type of workouts, not the same actual exercises back to back, but I was trying to keep myself like in shape, but I think I wore myself out more there because I wasn't physically sound than I used to be, that I mentally drained myself. Holy freaking shenanigans. Anyways, I just try to be so gung-ho. I love giving back, so I'm always trying to stay upbeat for people, but it's a lot to take in when I'm not getting a lot in reciprocation, I guess is the word I'm looking for. So it really drains me a lot that I do so much for others, and it's just not getting that. But anyways, moving on. The pandemic, so being away from literally everybody because I'm a people person to an extent. I hate massive crowds. When I went to that little girl's recital that you saw pictures of on my Facebook, people just bumping into me and touching me. I was just like way too tight, too cluttered. I'm like, I can't do this. But like, if I'm in a coffee shop or something, I'm okay. But that was a challenge, and I like those kind of challenges that I'm scared of things, or I'm just trying to break free of those little why it bothers me. I actually was fine after once I got settled in, the kids started singing. So I'm breaking all these barriers, and I'm just glad I am, because like so much to hang on. But sitting by myself for a whole pandemic really got inside my head, and that's when things started to turn, and I started just the littlest things were bothering me, like the noises from upstairs because it's an apartment building. They weren't doing much. They're just minding their own business and being kids. But it was just so loud as to the point I couldn't even focus on school anymore. And then I found myself, my grades dropping. And then once the semester was over, I was not pleased with my work. And I found myself just like getting more and more bitter. Once my upstairs neighbors left, that's when those other neighbors that moved in and caused all these problems got me kicked out the first time. That's when they moved in, still during the pandemic. So when I cannot literally go anywhere to save my life other than just outside in my car at the time and just cry or sleep, that's all I could do at the time. So knowing I got through that was hard. And then I think I've caught you guys up to speed on some of the other videos, but I'm just, like I said, going back to when I was sitting in the shower, and I kind of miss being in Iraq, because those simple pleasures, yet I'm going through so much, meant more to me than just the stress I've been going through in these past couple of days. So, okay, what are you guys supposed to take from this? How did I get to that point? Just really reflecting on my day, remembering times of when I have been at my worst. Not that I'm trying to dwell on my past, but to really kind of not teach myself, but just retrain my thought processes, like neurologically, to think more positive about things, so it just becomes more like second nature. So that's why it's easier as I'm kind of doing this rebuttal against against the apartment that I just got kicked out of. I just see all these more positive things that I've encountered mentally just it's harder to stay in the stressful thoughts that I used to be in, like when I was really depressed. Yes, I've had like 2 days, and that's probably been my longest I've had, but I haven't had really anybody to talk to or reflect thoughts or anything off of. I am talking to my buddy Jake. Whew, can't wait. He's actually going to try and help me with this, thank God. But when I start hearing people saying, let me help you with this, I start to get a little more motivated. And that's when I start thinking of all these other ideas of how to kind of beat this. And I start to get more empowered about myself and how strong I am. I'm sorry, it's a little splotchy. I'm trying to think at the same time. This is a kind of a open video, and I'm just kind of winging it as I go along. It's not like I have a script or anything, so I'm kind of pausing a lot. But where I'm going with this is just keep journaling, even if it's just like these little jotted notes of something. Hey, this is what I should say, or this is what I should do. But always remember too: is it a good thing or is it a bad thing? How will it actually affect you as a person? Is it going to cost you something if you say it or do it? What are the consequences? Let's just call it that behind that. So I've been really learning that, which really sucks to an extent because not everything I say is to cause harm. It's just more my dark sense of humor. And this society needs to lighten up a little bit. It's just ridiculous how Facebook has been treating me just because of the way I speak. I had a really good day today. I definitely want to share that. I got the people to come clean my room today. And, smells good. Hendrix had a freaking accident. So that's kind of like why I sped up the process of trying to get my room cleaned anyways, since it really needed it to begin with. But having them just sitting outside with the dogs, it was pretty cold. I mean, I really enjoyed having my room cleaned. I wish I could have helped because that's just by nature. So I felt guilty just sitting there watching somebody clean my room for once. And I was like, kind of spoiled. It was so weird. Yeah, I even kept my door open after everything was nice and clean too. I left my door open just to let so the puppy dog, Hendrix, my little dachshund, sit on the edge. He kept trying to like step outside, but I just wanted him to feel safe and like he could have a bunch of freedom to kind of sniff and smell. Yeah, I try to make sure they have good times. It's a little hard. It's a little cooped up in this really itty bitty little room. It is what it is. I'm very lucky that it's here at all. I was just found out today there's a dog park, so I might go check that out maybe tomorrow or something like that. But trying to stay in good spirits doesn't mean I don't have my demons that still try to creep up on me. But yeah, that happened yesterday and I think the day before. I didn't really share too much on that, but I was writing some notes, starting to have a pity party about myself, so I had to get my shit together and keep pushing forward. Like, I gotta stop being scared because it sounds like nothing's gonna get done. Well, that's all I got. I just wanted to share a little bit of what was on my mind. Please subscribe so that way you can hear more about my stories and leave a comment.